around here. There's a bunch of crooks around here.
You ain't supposed to be in that job, boy. Get out of there, man.
No, that's a total no, man. Bad coming.
Is my salary going up?
Bahamian people got to wake up.
This is my 5 cents and I approve this message.
Protesters clash with police at the official naming ceremony of the Paul Adderley building. The BEC chairman on this week's major power outage. The mother of a murder victim arraigned for allegedly assaulting a police officer. More than 100 Haitian migrants apprehended in waters off at Zuma. Plus, scores of people turn out for AIDS testing day. We've got those stories and more coming up tonight. I'm Dana Smith, and MV12 starts now. Top news tonight as the Royal Bahamas Police Force pop band serenaded guests at the official opening and naming of the Paul L. Adderley building today. The sound of 100 angry Ministry of Works employees chanting, "We want our money," could be heard from the Works parking lot next door. Dozens of police officers were called in as workers attempted to get to Prime Minister Perry Christie to demand that the government pay them thousands of dollars in hazard pay that they say the previous Christie administration agreed to in 2005. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Works Philip Braid Davis called the protest inappropriate. Bonnie Toot reports.
As government officials arrived here on John F. Kennedy Drive this morning for the opening of the Paul Adderley building, dozens of disgruntled Ministry of Works employees clashed with police officers as they attempted to get across the street to voice their concerns about outstanding hazard pay.
In the Bahamas, you understand what I'm saying? Do I have a right to move? Do I have a right to move? What curfew are we breaking? But we are Bahamians. This is a government who believes in Bahamians.
Police and protesters faced off this morning as officers used their vehicles and a truckload of barricades to prevent angry workers from leaving the Ministry of Works parking lot and taking their hours-long protest over to the official opening and naming ceremony next door.
We just want our money. We ain't getting nowhere. We can block this thing up every day. They can lock us up. We have Ministry of Works employees. All right, we are Bahamians. The PLP said they believe in Bahamians. I hope he come and talk to us. I hope we don't have to go to them, but if that's what it takes, we can go to them. All right? We don't want to spoil their party over there.
Executive Vice President of the Bahamas Public Service Union, Kimsley Ferguson, says workers have waited for years to collect hazard pay that was promised to them in a 2005 industrial agreement signed by the previous Christie administration. He says during numerous meetings, government officials agreed to pay workers monthly until national health insurance is implemented.
We left the meeting with the understanding that all persons were being given consideration. And this morning, to discover after payday that only a certain class of workers were given the hazardous pay, I support this. We want to talk to the Prime Minister this morning. If some persons get arrested here this morning, it may be necessary so that the voice of these people can be heard.
Welder Stephen Douglas accused the government of cherry-picking, noting that some of his colleagues received tens of thousands of dollars yesterday while others got nothing.
Some of our co-workers went to the bank yesterday and they going home smiling. Some of us going to the bank and we break out and fight. All right? You cannot treat some people some way and some people the next way and expect that everybody going to be happy. All right? We need all these workers here to leave here with a smile on their face.
Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Works, Renward Wells, questioned why employees didn't protest under the F&M government.
Did you all come out here when Nico Graff was up there and blocked the road? Did you all come out here when Earl DeVoe sat in that place and blocked the road? But you come out here, let me finish my point. Let me finish my point. Let me finish on this. But I'm making the point.
People we want our money
but
from.
You're saying
if they agreed to give it in 2005,
yeah, but Douglas,
all what you said is irrelevant. You're trying to get political. This is not political. This is not political.
Workers made another attempt to leave the premises as Prime Minister Perry Christie pulled up, once again facing off with police. Christie didn't speak with workers but acknowledged the protest during his remarks at the opening ceremony.
As I was speaking to the Attorney General, I was wondering what my friend Paul Adley would be thinking, where as we pay tribute to him, we have an expression of the democracy that we now have to contend with taking place to my left in the form of a forced request for recognition.
Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Works Philip Brave Davis also attended that event and called the protest a disappointment.
Well, I think it's inappropriate, period, whether it's today or not. I mean, it's just exacerbated by today because we're having this event, but any day for them to take the action that they've done was inappropriate because they knew that the matter has been resolved and they knew it was only a matter of a day or two that they'll get their funds.
Davis says he expects around 300 workers to be paid, but could not say how much money the Ministry of Works will pay out. Reporting for NB12, I'm Veronique Toot.
Once a convicted drug smuggler, Kevin Major is now facing charges for assaulting a police officer. Major, along with two of her sons and others, were arrested this past Tuesday, just hours after an alleged brawl at the Nassau Street Court complex. Simone Davis reports.
According to police reports, Kiva Major, along with two sons and others, were at the South Street Court complex to attend a hearing for the men accused of killing Major's 17-year-old son, Enrico Major, when the incident occurred. Police said an argument took place after officers attempted to search Major at the entrance of the court complex. It was then that Major allegedly assaulted the officer. Major and 10 others appeared before the magistrate court this morning. She was not in custody when she arrived at the court and was accompanied by two of the men who were arrested with her. Also charged with Major were Kazero Henfield, Amy Cartwright, Nicholas Robinson, John Pratt, Ramiko Moss, Alvaro Ferguson, Ravon Major, Ryan Stirrup, Charles Barthaway, and Mario Richardson. The group was represented by attorneys Donna Major and Code Smith. All of them except Kiva Major were charged with obstruction against PC 1512 Knowles while he acted in execution of his duties. They were further charged with disorderly conduct. Everyone pleaded not guilty to the charges. Kiva Major alone was charged with the unlawful assault of PC 1512 Knowles. She too pleaded not guilty to the charge. All of this just a few weeks after Major's son was brutally murdered. After the case was adjourned, the group was handcuffed as they left the courtroom. The judge revoked the past bail and a new bail was issued in the amount of $2,000, with the exception of Kevin Major, who was ordered to pay $3,000. The case is adjourned until October 17th. Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
On June 4th, he was given 21 days to either pay a $2,000 fine or spend 14 days in prison. Yesterday, Farquharson appeared before Justice Turner, where he told him he had no intention of paying the fine. Farquharson said the court is intent to have counsel suffer the indignity of this penalty and damage to his career. Turner responded, "It gives me no pleasure of any sort. I handed down a penalty, a fine, and in default of the payment of the fine, 14 days in prison." In the sentencing, Turner said Farquharson was unrepentant in his behavior by maintaining that he acted properly. Farquharson wound up joining his client, Christopher Butler, on the bus to Her Majesty's prison. In other news, more than 100 Haitian migrants on board a sailing sloop were apprehended by Royal Bahamas Defense Force officers in waters off Great Exuma last night. According to the Defense Force, while on routine patrol, a Defense Force craft under the command of Acting Sub-Lieutenant Dwight Storr spotted a sailing sloop 3 nautical miles off Hawksbill Rock, southwest of Great Exuma. The sloop was intercepted at 6 p.m. A subsequent search of the vessel resulted in the apprehension of 102 undocumented Haitian nationals, 82 men and 20 women. The migrants were taken into custody and transported to Coral Harbor Base this morning around 9 a.m., where they were handed over to immigration authorities for further processing. Well, days after thousands of frustrated BC customers were plunged into darkness, Executive Chairman of the Bahamas Electricity Corporation, Leslie Miller, says the problem has been resolved. On Wednesday, BC blamed severe thunderstorms for the disruption, explaining that lightning struck key infrastructure at its Clifton Pier power station, causing several units to trip offline. Miller said all engines are back online. However, he noted the measures they have in place to protect against lightning strikes don't always hold up against Mother Nature.
You know, we don't predict nature. If the lightnings come and the rain follow, these things happen. I don't know if you want me to talk to God. Want me to give him a call? That's all I can say. These things happen. And when you have lightning strikes, your machine automatically cuts off to save the machine from any serious problems. And you go back and repair what damage is done. Very minor damage most of the time, where your controls may go offline. You just, take your time and put it back online. And I apologize on behalf of the corporation for the problems we've been having over the last few days. But
Miller commended BC teams for working fast to restore power supply to New Providence residents.
But some of those strikes are so massive out there, out at Clifton. It's causing some intimate problems. So we're trying now to get some new arresters, some bigger arresters to try to solve the problem. So, this is the summer months is when you can have those things, and hopefully we'll get through it. But I just want to commend the staff out at Clifton for doing a wonderful job.
When MB12 returns, the State Minister for Finance explains the $12 million projection for web shop taxes. Stay with us.